Welcome to the Universe Era podcast, where I don't know. Oh, try to start this intro without making a Chris Benoit joke. I am the shaman of sexy, James, and to my left is the cowboy stripper, Jamie B. So tell me what else Lance Cade's gimmick was. And to my right, Drax the complainer, Ryan. Because trust me, we have a rant about that ending. And here we are with episode 1, Night of Champions 2007. So, some quick facts for you. We are in Houston, Texas, in the Toyota Center with 15,000 people in attendance. I can barely imagine 20 people. Fuck. The reason why this show is special is because every night there will be a championship match. And, well, some matches are better than others. So,
true.
In a dark match that was held before the show, Super Crazy beat Carlito in 5 minutes 6 seconds. You have no idea who any of those guys are, do you, Ryan?
Not a clue.
How do I describe Super Crazy? He came in the and he was stereotypical Mexican.
All right.
And Carlito, except my autocorrect has made him Doritos. I'm looking at my notes and it just says, "Is Super Crazy beat Doritos?" Doritos.
That'll be a good brand.
Yeah, he was a guy from the Caribbean who spat apple in people's.
Jesus.
Yeah. Okay, here's a quick thing for the intro. Oh, if Batista loses this match, he's never getting another chance at the World Heavyweight title. Thanks for telling me he wins, is what I wrote down before I actually saw the show.
Ooh.
Another note, when people think of Mick Foley, they will think of this night. When most people think of Mick Foley, you either think of, holy shit, how are you not dead? Holy shit, how are you not dead? Holy shit, how are you not dead? And the night he won the WWE title.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. One of the things we need to do, Ryan, is show you some Mick Foley. But you might be scared because he should be dead.
King of the Ring.
After just seeing the trailer for Mickey, I just like, oh my god, he's like a beast.
Yeah. Let's just say there's a match where he fell off a cage and his tooth came through his lip and then into his nose.
That makes me cringe.
And when he looked at the camera, he stuck a bit of his tongue through that hole.
And smiled.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
But he also gave us one of the best moments ever when he finally won the title. And the biggest pop ever. We're going to show you that episode of Raw. Seriously. When Stone Cold's music hit, you can't even hear the music because of that pop. Another note I had taken is Randy Orton saying all it takes is one RKO. My joke. Out of nowhere, or is that not a joke yet? Like, it's really hard to know when we're here. And my biggest notes, because I have it all in caps lock here, Booker T saying, "I will be king of the world." We have King Booker. Yes. More Booker.
Yeah.
Oh, I love King Booker. some more notes because I took more notes on this than I did of some matches. The WWE title has never been in more jeopardy. Okay, the Royal Rumble. Jamie, correct me on this one. Was it 92 when Ric Flair won the Rumble? Or 91?
90, I think it was 92.
Yeah, that's the one where the title was in the Rumble.
Yeah, because 91, I'm sure.
That one might be the one Hogan won, but Mr. Perfect was going to win. But an hour before the Rumble started, Hogan changed the finish.
And yeah, 93, I think it was. And
That
Bret
was the
Hart
one
was the champion. Was it not Bret Hart and Razor Ramon?
Oh,
93.
Yeah, because
so it would have been.
Yeah.
So it would have been 92, yeah.
Yeah. Ryan, what we're trying.
Yeah, because at WrestleMania 8, Ric Flair defended it against Macho Man, was it?
Yes. Yes, because it came in.
Yeah.
What we're trying to say, Ryan, is you know how Cena had to defend the title against 4 people? Imagine defending it against 29.
Oh, that would have been an awesome fight.
It's one of the best Rumbles ever. And Ric Flair has the greatest promo at the end because he's like, with a tear in my eye, this is the greatest day of my life. Woo!
Awesome.
Like,
I think I did a 30-man match on WWE on my Xbox, and my brother and I, we teamed up first off to throw everyone else, and it was going to be a ring out match.
Yeah, that's the Rumble.
It's so much fun just throwing everyone out and just going head to head for the final. It's brilliant.
Yeah. Also, so basically I said bullshit on that one. Also, the WWE and the World title get a promo, but not the ECW one. Even though they're pretending that ECW title means dog shit. It doesn't. It was going to, but someone kind of did something, and that had to change the booking.
All right.
You know the match between Johnny Nitro and CM Punk?
Yeah.
What if I told you Johnny Nitro wasn't meant to face CM Punk?
Oh?
Should we tell him about Benoit?
It would understand because during the match you heard the crowd shouting. Benoit.
I have a note on that. One of my notes is, holy shit, there is a "We Want Benoit" chant. I'm surprised they didn't remove this from the network. Okay. I'm going to give you a super compressed version of the Chris Benoit story. Chris Benoit is a fantastic wrestler, and he was meant to face CM Punk for the ECW title, and he was meant to win. He didn't show this event because of personal reasons.
Right.
On this day, he murdered his wife, his son, and then himself.
Jesus!
Yeah.
Good Lord.
There is a fantastic 2-part documentary about it from Vice called Dark Side of the Ring. It's fantastic.
Yeah, he killed. I think it was he killed he killed Nancy on the Friday.
Yeah, he killed Nancy.
Daniel on the Saturday morning, and then he
killed himself on Sunday.
Stayed in the house until the Sunday with their dead bodies in the house, and
jeez.
Okay, Benoit wasn't in the right state because of all the drugs he was taking just as a wrestler, like painkillers and steroids, and also he had so many concussions that he had the brain of an 80-year-old Alzheimer's patient. That isn't me exaggerating. Wow. That's what an actual doctor said.
I'm sure that's in the documentary as well.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm taking it from. But yeah, That's
Good lord. Wow.
That's why I wanted to do this show, because I asked people what is the end of the Ruthless Aggression, and people said either when Eddie Guerrero died or when Benoit died. And I decided to do Benoit because we need to show you some Eddie Guerrero, or at least when he won the title in No Mercy. It's one of the, like, I cry when I watch that match because it's Eddie. But yeah, basically, Benoit's never been mentioned by the company, and they have wiped him from the record books.
Wow.
Like, but yeah, so he was not.
I think WWE got a lot of backlash for that, but I can see.
I completely understand.
Because back at the time, he basically brought wrestling to its knees.
Oh, like, honestly, like, I need to show you some Benoit, Ryan. He is so good. Like,
I loved Chris Benoit, but I cannot condone what happened
I think
over that weekend.
This will be an subject to look at, actually. I'm actually really interested in that.
Like, I need to show you Royal Rumble 04. It's one of the best performances you've ever seen. Also,
my personal opinion, if Chris Benoit had not done what he done and maybe just went and committed suicide, he could have been in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, he was going to be, like, because I'm gonna pull some back. You first.
I don't know much about Daniel. Only thing I know about Daniel is it's from WrestleMania 20 when he was in the ring. Nancy. I know more about Nancy due to the WCW days.
Her time as woman.
She is quite a stunning woman. She was top of her game. I think apart from Miss Elizabeth, she was one of the only ones who wasn't really an active wrestler, but was there at the forefront.
Yeah, because you were bringing up the Benoit being in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to pull some backstage. Jamie and Ryan only watched the pay-per-view. I watched all the TV, so all the weekly shows coming to this, and every time they mention Benoit, they're always saying he's a future Hall of Famer, his Hall of Fame career. Once he's done here, he's in the Hall of Fame. And I'm just like, going from Hall of Fame to we're not mentioning him ever again.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. I feel like
carry on.
I feel like we needed to mention Benoit because he is very important to this show. I think he's the reason this show is famous. Like, this show is famous in history because this is the show that on the same day Benoit did what he did.
Yeah.
But
exactly. But the conspiracy theory.
No.
Everybody is going to be like that all the time. Conspiracy. Kevin Sullivan done it. This person done it.
Here's the thing I don't.
I mean, I was a huge Benoit fan, but I will not come out and blame somebody else just because I want him in the Hall of Fame. Quite frankly, I don't. Because
there is
you think about years to come, you've got kids, and if they see Chris Benoit, they're going to look him up and they're going to get hit with all that. So I don't think he belongs in there.
That's the reason they say they won't put Chyna in the Hall of Fame on her own. Because it's not murder. She didn't kill anyone. But that's the reason they say. But basically, that's the Benoit thing. Let's move on from that. I just wanted to get him out the way.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Tonal shift. I fucking love this set. The pillars, the banners with all the titles. I love this set. This set is fantastic.
I liked it. I really did.
Yeah, me too.
we are introduced to Barry Windham and Mike Rotunda. Weird thing is, they don't call them the US Express, but also, fun fact, they used Real American before Hulk Hogan.
All right.
Also, one of the things you're going to probably get, Ryan, is you're going to say, wrestling's stupid or something. Mike Rotunda used to be Erwin I. Shyster, whose gimmick was he was a wrestling tax man.
What?
Yeah.
I'm not making this up.
Jeez Louise.
Vince McMahon was unhappy paying taxes, so he made a character who embodied taxes so he could have people beat him up.
I always thought it was funny when they tagged IRS with the $1 Million Man.
Oh, Money Inc.
I was actually watching one of the matches just earlier on for WrestleMania 9, where they got Hogan and Brutus.
I cannot watch that match because I watched it with Becky a while ago, and you know the bit when Hogan opens up the briefcase and it's a brick and some $1 notes. She just went, "Is he going to open up and there's just going to be like a big dildo?" Oh, I can't watch that anymore. You've ruined it, Becky. Does anyone have any other notes about the intro before we go into the first match?
No.
Nah, I'm good.
Our first match is Matt and Jeff the Hardy Boys versus Cade and Murdoch. Quick history. Matt and Jeff Hardy have been wrestling since they were 13. They are real-life brothers, and they are famous because they kill themselves in matches like TLC and ladder matches. The highest point of their career is WrestleMania 17 in their TLC match with the Dudley Boys and the Hardy Boys. No, not the Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
We're in a weird period of their career. Because when you talk about the Hardy Boys, you get two different eras. You get the Team Extreme early 2000s, and by that I mean like 2001, and then you get like 2010 from there when they're separate. We're in a very weird period.
Yeah.
Lance Cade is a cowboy stripper. What else is he meant to be? He is wearing...
I noticed that straight away. I noticed that the minute he walked in.
He is wearing chaps. Why? Shawn, yes, before you say, oh, Shawn Michaels wore chaps, his gimmick was that he was a stripper as well. The amount of times his ass got. And Trevor Murdoch is a Texas redneck chewing tobacco. First note, what the fuck is wrong with Jeff Hardy's hair? Like, is it dread? I don't know. But Jerry the King Lawler says, is the reaction of Rockstar like? And then I just said, insert a bad rock star here, I don't know any. And the reason for that is, I don't know if it's with the network, they had no reaction when they came out.
No, I was a bit confused with that.
Like, at first I was thinking, oh, did they turn down the volume in the network edition? Maybe because there was like a loud Benoit chant. But then we have a literal, we want Benoit chant.
Yeah.
Basically, we go into a huge history of the titles and how they're so important. And then I'm just like, look at our tag team champions. A Southern hick and a cowboy stripper.
Yeah, when I took my notes of that fire, just to make things easier with the names, I just put down Rockstar 1 and 2 and Cowboy 1 and 2.
I just put in Lance Cade WTF. I've never understood that game. But I will say that Cade and Murdoch, they seem to work well with the Hardys.
Oh, I see. This match started because on the Raw after ECW One Night Stand, the Hardy Boys were the tag team champions, and they were put in a match with Lance and Cade. And Lance and Cade were meant to be baby faces, and then they accidentally cheated to win. And then when the Hardy Boys, they accidentally, I'm using quotation marks, they didn't mean to cheat. And then when the Hardy Boys are like, oi mate, what the hell, they sucker punch them, turning heel and moving on. And the story of this match is they are not breaking the rules, but they are being dicks about it. Like, my first note is collar and elbow tie up, push man to the corner, and then Lance goes so far back he touches the other corner.
I was wondering about that. Because I can't really remember the build up to the match, but that you just cleared that up there, because I was wondering why. What, is there something wrong with him? But...
No, like the whole gimmick is look, we're not breaking the rules. And they didn't break the rules. They were very sportsmanlike. Hey, Lance Cade even offered Matt Hardy a handshake, and Matt Hardy, being the bastard he is, punched him in the face.
Yeah.
Hardy Boys to the heels.
But no, they weren't having it.
And then with the punch, and Lance goes back to his corner, and basically Trevor Murdoch gives him a massage to his back and his head. Good question. Why isn't this a tag? Because this isn't a tag. I don't know. My other big notes. My other big notes are: Kane says this young man Trevor Murdoch.
He doesn't look that young to me.
I have an uncle who is nearly 60 and he still looks younger than Trevor. Also, Murdoch puts Lance Cade in a one-arm Boston Crab, and it felt like it was an hour. Jesus Christ. How long did he have that Boston Crab on? It was forever.
Ages. Absolute ages.
It really did feel long.
I have a fuck up from JR. Jeff gets tagged in, and then he hits Lance with the Whisper in the Wind. That's where he basically runs to the turnbuckle, jumps off it, and then kicks him in the head with the backflip.
Yeah.
JR calls that a twist of fate.
All right.
That's two completely different moves.
Yeah.
You know how I said the crowd are quiet throughout this whole thing? Like, I did not see any reaction.
Yeah.
Crowd goes bloody mental for Jeff to climb the top rope, getting ready for a Swanton bomb.
Yeah.
Geez, like, the second he went up, I just had everyone yelling, like, oh shit, they're getting ready for Swanton.
Uh-huh.
Trevor pushes Jeff Hardy off, and Lance hits him with a cool rock bottom spine buster. I had no idea what that was.
I liked it.
Yeah.
He does it for the free, and Lance Cade and Trevor Murdoch win in 8 minutes 51 seconds. And basically, what I had written down is, well, I'm going to do my one joke. I know this is controversial, but I'd say this is the best match we've reviewed so far in our podcast. Like, I know we've looked at some of the greatest matches ever in our years of doing this, but this match was the best.
But I don't think it was a bad match. I mean, I've seen it's not in the caliber of some matches, like I'm not going to mention because obviously, but it's all right.
I was pretty average for the first timer.
Yeah. My note was, I thought this match was fine. Nothing wrong, but nothing really good, except Trevor and Lance being dicks about the rules. I fucking loved that.
Aye.
I gave this match a 3 out of 5. I don't know if you've had like star ratings. You don't need to. That was just what I did.
All right, well, that's all you. You can do that.
Then we get a promo from King Booker and Queen Sharmell running down his title reigns.
Oh.
I love the overacting where he's like, I am WCW champion, United States champion. I love We're seeing King.
There's something about Booker T, whether it's King Booker or just Booker T. I just love this guy.
Oh.
It's just so. In fact, I was watching Booker T earlier on. It was about Stone Cold in the supermarket.
Oh, that's okay. We definitely need to show Ryan that one.
Especially in the day and age that we're living in right now.
Yeah.
So well.
You could probably recreate it because the supermarket is empty right now. Also, okay, what we're talking about is in 2001, Booker T had a fight with Stone, another wrestler, in a supermarket, and it's the funniest thing ever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I love the start of it, where Booker T's just doing his shopping, and then you hear like a beer open behind him, and he's like, "Oh fuck!" Turns around and it's Austin. That's the fucking funniest thing.
Yeah.
But also, we're seeing King Booker Ron. It's not King Booker, it's King Booker! I love King Booker. I thought we missed him. I genuinely thought we would have just missed him. I don't know how long we have him for, though.
I
will say this much.
You're like full on king of mode, like treating everyone as peasants and everything. Oh, I cannot believe it. I mean, just seeing King Booker just acting all like treating everyone like peasants. I didn't think anyone was going to be that big-headed, but jeez Louise, man.
How dare you, plebeian? You will respect King Booker. Don't you know what titles he has won? The WCW champion, World Heavyweight champion, Tag Team champion. He is King Booker, and you will respect him.
I will say, see when Booker T became King Booker, I didn't really know if he was going to pull it off. But, yes.
King Booker is the only guy who has won the King of the Ring and did the King gimmick, and it worked. No one else. Because anyone else who wins King of the Ring, either they don't use the gimmick, Brock Lesnar, Bret Hart, Edge, and they are good.
Stone Cold, he didn't use it either. So
yeah, and I know Triple H is the King of Kings, but he didn't really use the King gimmick.
No.
So they succeed, but then like King Barrett and that shit. So he's the only guy who's used the King gimmick and it worked.
Yeah, definitely.
We then get Michael Cole and JBL talking about Eddie Guerrero. They show No Mercy 2004. My note, holy shit, they showed Lesnar. I thought he was scrapped from the history books.
Well, I guess they just added it because obviously he was part of the champs, so it kind of felt right to do him, I guess.
I don't know. Normally when a wrestler leaves the company, they kind of just didn't exist.
Aye.
They don't show Goldberg, though, and I still get a tear in my eye when Eddie wins the title, and it's just Viva la la.
Yeah.
I'm the same. I don't think I'll ever watch that match with having a tear in my eye.
We need to. We'll do a special on that. We'll do a special on Eddie Guerrero because Ryan, you have not lived until you have cried with seeing Eddie Guerrero run into the crowd, WWE title in one hand, Mexican flag in the other, and just Viva la Laza.
That does sound pretty emotional for some people, but it's going to be difficult because I do not cry to save my life. I don't know what's going on.
That's exactly what I thought until Eddie actually passed away at that Raw.
Oh,
I don't know if the tribute is on the network.
It is.
I've not actually looked, but even the start and the SmackDown tribute, see Batista crying, and that was just. I know the Benoit bit's been cut out. It'll probably cut out, but everybody was just been. You can see the Big Show at the beginning. Big Show was crying. Just really gets you.
One of the things is Eddie Guerrero died of a heart attack, and they did a fantastic tribute to him.
Oh, right. Okay.
And that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Like
aye.
But also another reason why you should watch the Dark Side of the Ring documentary on Benoit. They go into Eddie. They go into how Eddie was Benoit's only friend in a way. Benoit wasn't big on making friends with people, and Eddie was like his only real friend. And when Eddie died, it affected Benoit. Like if you watch the tribute, you can Chavo Guerrero, who's his nephew, is not crying.
The Benoit parts. Remember the song? Remember the song I sent you, the Spanish one?
Yeah.
I can't remember the Benoit parts in that.
I don't know if I think Ben was still in there because they haven't removed him from the network. Like if he's in this episode of Raw, he will show up. But it's like when you scroll down to pick a match, instead of it being like Chris Benoit versus MVP United States title, it's MVP for the United States title.
All
right.
Okay. Next match before I start crying about Eddie. Chavo Guerrero versus Jimmy Wang Yang. I just want to say this. Ooh, Chavo! Do, Chavo! Chavo has the best theme.
Chavo is another Guerrero I love. It's just something about Chavo.
Chavo's fantastic.
I've never met Chavo. I've heard he's one of the nicest people, but I just love Chavo.
Okay, they talk about Dean Malenko and then they show him backstage. I wrote down, okay, so he's going to be involved in the ending of this match. He's not.
That's what I thought.
I know he's a backstage producer, he works backstage, but I don't know. But yeah,
I thought that's what they were built. I thought they were going to build that to it. I thought that's why they showed him. And everything. I was just waiting on it.
Dean Malenko's going to show up and be like, yeah, you're not a cruiserweight champion. Here, I'm going to hit you with 1,001 holds. And then Jericho runs with a massive list. Okay, we might as well call this podcast Things We Need to Show Ryan, but we need to show you Jericho's 1,004 holds. It's the funniest thing ever. Because he was in a feud with...
You watch it, documentaries, see if they talk about it, and they actually say that Jericho, because they went to a break, he carried on listing holds during the break. Okay. It just sounds like a Jericho thing.
Here's the story. Chris Jericho was in a feud with Dean Malenko, and Dean Malenko's whole gimmick was, I know 1,001 holds. So Jericho came out on an episode of Nitro and went, well, I've got a list of 1,004, and it's just it's like, in a cartoon when they have a long piece of paper and it goes around the world.
Yeah.
He had one of those. It was and he just went, number 1, arm drag. Number 2, arm bar. And it's the funniest shit ever. Jeez. Then a match happens. 2 other people come out for their match, so he has to leave. And he's like, no, my list. I need my list. I fucking love Lee Champion. Okay. I love Jimmy Wang Yang's gimmick of he's Asian, but he's going to be so stereotypical Texan.
Aye.
Serious question for Jamie. Is this the only time an Asian wrestler hasn't had a "I'm from Asia" gimmick?
I think so.
Jamie,
Yeah.
like, as much as I love Asuka now, her gimmick is she screams in Japanese. Also, have you seen her do commentary for Raw? It's the funniest thing ever. And she fucking loves Andrade. But this match is very grabby. It's like, with the Cruiserweight title, you're expecting them to do a couple of flips. This is very grabby.
Aye.
And also, yeah. Hearing JBL talk so highly of the Guerrero family is weird, because JBL's famous for his feud with Eddie Guerrero, where he gave Eddie's mum a heart attack.
Yeah, did they not have that? It was like a big bloodbath.
Yes, Judgment Day, where Eddie passed out because he lost so much blood.
Wow.
That's right, right?
Also, Ryan, you might be saying, oh, he gave his mum a heart attack. It was a fake heart attack for the story.
Oh,
It was meant to be a fake heart attack. She got a legit heart attack by accident.
oh, jeez.
It's one of the weirdest things ever. So what was meant to happen was that she was meant to fake having a heart attack, but they were going to say it was a real heart attack for the story.
Aye.
She got a real one by accident, and they're like, oh shit.
Jeez, that's scary.
Yeah. This was also the feud where JBL went to the Mexico border and kicked Mexicans out of trying to get into America.
All right.
That was shady.
Yeah, that's right.
But also, Jimmy hits Chavo Guerrero with a running drop kick in the corner and ends it with a backflip. So he like jumps off Chavo and does a backflip and lands.
Yeah, he treats them like a wall.
Nice. Like, I love this. Well, I don't have a lot of notes for this, but Chavo hip tosses Jimmy ass first into the top turnbuckle. He does like a hip toss and he hits it with his ass first. It's the weirdest thing.
Aye.
Chavo hits Jimmy with the frog splash for the free E. Here's what I did. I thought this match was okay, but I was disappointed because I know these two can do better.
Mm.
And then I got a 12-5. What do you have any extra notes?
No, really. I like the way Chavo, since Eddie died, he brought Eddie's moves into his match, like the Three Amigos.
Oh yeah, Three Amigos.
I've always liked that, the way he's incorporated Eddie into his match.
If you look, he has the armband that says EG on it.
That's right, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Also, on the final note, I said JBL flubs his line because he says Eddie Guerrero won at the Great American Bash with a frog splash, but then he fixes it by saying "No Way Out." JBL, do you only remember Eddie Guerrero in the title match when you beat him? What did you think of this match, Ryan?
I thought it was pretty clever. I love the karate moves Jimmy was doing to Chavo, and although I was not really fun with all the fake begging for mercy and stuff like that, I was just like, I was like, come on, get some.
But he was begging for mercy. He was sorry. He was sorry for everything he did. Jimmy was being a dick.
It just goes right for the neck.
Yes. Okay. Then we talk about Mr. McMahon's limo explosion.
Yeah.
Okay.
What the hell, man?
Yeah, this requires some explanation.
They don't even talk about it at the end of the video. They just say that they're still looking. But I looked online, and that guy is still alive today. So I don't know how the hell all this makes sense.
Okay. In ECW One Night Stand, Mr. McMahon, who is the real life boss of WWE and is also the fake boss, he plays I'm an evil boss, but in real life he is the legit boss. at one night stand he got beat up. So then he went mental for 2 weeks, and they held an appreciation night for him, where basically a bunch of people from his past made fun of him and said, "You're a piece of shit."
So kind of like a roast.
Including, and I'm not making this up, President of the United States, Donald Trump.
Yeah, well, of course Donald Trump would do that. Aye, of course.
He was legit on there.
Jeez.
Yeah. We are going to be seeing Trump in our timeline.
Wow.
I'm not making this up. But
Yeah.
so then he goes into his limo, and then it explodes, and that ends that episode of Raw.
Yeah.
And then through the shows they act like this is real. And next week's Raw is meant to be a memorial for Vince McMahon, and but they had to cut it because Benoit. What happened was, tomorrow from this show, they were going to hold this Vince McMahon memorial. The episode opens up with Vince McMahon in the ring saying, "This was meant to continue the story of my character, Vince McMahon's death. However, I've been informed of the real-life death of Chris Benoit, his wife, and his son."
Right.
They didn't know Benoit killed his family. They just knew they were dead. So they held a memorial for Benoit. You won't find it on the network. If you look for it on the network, it's here are the greatest matches of 2007.
I was just going to say that it's like greatest matches of some sort.
Yeah, like they do not. Like, this is the one episode of Raw they will not ever have on the network.
Right.
So they had to cut the story short.
Uh-huh.
It was meant to be a longer story that was going to be like a year long, but with the Benoit incident, they had to cut it.
Right.
So we are never going to hear about this limo explosion again.
But how did he even survive it?
He went into the limo. They cut the cameras. He left the limos, and when they put the cameras back on, it was a seamless edit. Then they blew it up.
But
people thought this was real.
Out and then going in. He cut it just before that. He got out and then just exploded straight afterwards.
It's the magic of television.
Jeez Louise. I never would have thought that would have been an editor. I thought that was actually legit. Because knowing how crazy wrestlers can be, I actually thought people would be of that.
Yeah. You're not the only one. People thought this was real.
Aye, jeez.
But then they had to say,
yeah,
no.
I can remember people crying.
WWE treated it like this was real. Like,
I had friends that said, "Oh, wrestling's done now. Wrestling's done. Vince McMahon's dead." I was like, "What?"
But
I didn't know though that when I was watching the presenters talk about the next match and everything, I see two people who are talking about this incident. One saying that he was the one that blew it up, and the other one saying that he's still alive.
Oh, I think I know which one you're talking about. That's the Edge Cena one. We'll get to that. But they also show up a list of suspects from WWE.com. I want you to give this list. Jonathan Coachman, his assistant, fine. Bobby Lashley, the person he had a feud with. All right, fine, I'll give you that one. Stone Cold Steve Austin, his famous rival. Give you that one. Shane McMahon, his son. The limo driver, sure. Triple H, fine. President of the United States, Donald Trump. I know I'm doing this. I know I'm saying this a lot. I know I'm saying this a lot, but I want people to know the president of the United States, the leader of the free world, used to be in wrestling.
Yeah, free world, my friend.
Yep.
Do you not remember what he did for the first couple of months he was president?
We're not getting in there. We are not getting into political. Cut.
I'm just saying.
We're not doing
I'm saying, President of the Free World, my ass.
Shut up. Be quiet.
But
Also,
it was Donald Trump's place, Trump Plaza, that
they held some WrestleManias there.
WrestleMania 4 and 5.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously came back into it.
Yeah. Also, Paul London is also on the suspects. I'm gonna need to tell you the story of Paul London. There's a bit where Vince McMahon is walking backstage, and you have basically a ton of wrestlers and backstage people on their side while he's walking past. Paul London, no, everyone else is like treating this seriously. Paul London just has the biggest smile on his face. He then got fired for that.
Ha!
They just went, no, you ruined the shot just because you had the biggest smile ever. All right. Now let's get to one of the most infamous matches ever, because this was not the match we were meant to get. CM Punk versus Johnny Nitro.
Yep.
My first note, holy shit, there is a "We Want Benoit" chant. How is this not removed from the network?
Exactly. And I noticed at the beginning of this match, there was no explanation. Obviously, taking it out of the...
I thought that, but then they
took
mentioned
it out of the network. But for people like Ryan who didn't know the situation, and then somebody says, well, it was maybe Chris Benoit, and he'd be sitting there, well, how? Why did they not say it? So I think they could have left it, that wee part in there, but I don't get paid the big bucks to do
Here's the thing. I would agree, except they mentioned Benoit in the MVP match. In the MVP match, they mentioned Benoit, and that's weird. So I don't think it's a network thing. I just don't think they mentioned him in this match. Also, Johnny notices the chant. I feel so bad for him. I feel so sorry, because this crowd does not want him. They want Benoit.
That crowd was absolutely brutal through this match.
They were going like boos on everything. It was like mad.
Yeah. Johnny sells a kick to the back of the leg with a backflip. I love you, Johnny.
That's cool.
Johnny, I love Johnny being a massive dick in this match. He's such a dick, and it's so great. Like, Johnny jumps off the ropes and then kicks CM Punk in midair because Johnny. Okay, he's Johnny Nitro now. I think by our next show, he's going to change his name to John Morrison.
All right.
John Morrison's fantastic. He might be CrossFit Jesus.
Wow.
Oh, boy.
Like the amount of flips he can do is uncanny. There's a small boring chant. I do not agree.
No, I've really enjoyed this match.
Joey Styles says, and I quote, Johnny was told today that he was facing Punk. No mention of Benoit at all. And also, imagine that. Imagine going like him from not being on the show at all to, yeah, you're facing CM Punk and you're winning the ECW title. Good luck.
That's crazy.
A weird swinging neck breaker from the middle ropes on Punk for Johnny to get the win. My note, holy shit, one, I did not know that was his finisher, and two, I never remembered him holding this title.
Right.
I could have sworn Punk won this match.
That's what I thought. I thought Punk had won it.
Here's in 8 minutes, 3 seconds. My note for this is overall, I liked this match. It could have been better, but given the situation, these guys did fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I I gave this a 4 out of 5.
Nice.
I think I might be too high, but that's what I'm doing.
I would have gave it about the same. Johnny Nitro being a late minute. I mean, doesn't matter when in the Sunday he found out he was going to be in this match, to find out last minute, I think they put on a good match. Even CM Punk.
Yeah. What's your opinion of this match, Ryan?
Yeah, I really liked it. I liked all the good comeback moves and all the kicks. It was like full on. It's just like jeez. But I really enjoyed it.
One of the things I really am looking forward to in this podcast is hearing you move on from, oh, I like this kick, to I like this move, to, yeah, he hit a magnificent Canadian Destroyer Starship Pain. Let you slowly learn what this is.
I'll probably know the names if I keep it quiet.
Another thing they do is that they show, one of the things they've been doing is that they've been showing iconic title wins. One of them is the Iron Man match between Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, WrestleMania 12. One thing I want to say is, I'm going to mention the get the fuck out my ring story. Okay. Shawn Michaels wins the match, and what was originally meant to happen was that Bret was meant to give Shawn the title. It was meant to be like a passing of the torch. Shawn tells the referee, get Bret out the fuck out my ring.
What?
Shawn wanted the moment all to himself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay, the Shawn Michaels we're going to be getting in our timeline is not the same Shawn Michaels from this time.
Right.
I personally think, see, back then, I just think it seemed to me, I mean, after watching documentaries and that, I think he was just feeling himself. You know, he was putting all this shit in his body, and I think it just ruined him in a bit, to be honest with you.
That and also
compared to what we're going to be coming to in the timeline. So I mean, it's just a total different guy.
Here's the quick story with Shawn Michaels. He's a fantastic wrestler, and then in the 90s, even if you ask him, he was the biggest asshole ever. He was doing a ton of drugs. He was an asshole to every other wrestler, and he got people fired. Like, if you pissed off Shawn Michaels, you had lost your job.
Wow.
He then got fired basically because he couldn't hide his drug addiction.
Huh.
And then he found God in 2002 and came back, and he's a much better person.
Good.
So basically, when we see Shawn Michaels, don't just think he's an asshole. He is a much better person now.
Right.
And he's married to a Nitro girl.
Yes, and so is Booker T.
That's right, yeah.
And so is DDP. DDP was married to Kimberly, who was the hottest girl ever.
Oh,
thank God Benji's not here. Anyway, we then get a Randy Orton Mick Foley promo, or as my autocorrect has, a Kick Foley promo. There was nothing really big here, except they talk about concussions, which is weird because in modern day they will not touch concussions. And they also had a nice talk about Backlash 2004. How do I describe Backlash 2004? Mick Foley and Randy Orton had a hardcore match that included like 20 nails, like thumbtacks, going into Randy Orton's back.
Right.
Basically, that once Randy won that match, that was like his star-making match. Like when he won, that was like when people were like, okay, this kid Randy Orton, he's going to be something big. We then get our next match, Santino Marella versus Umaga.
You know, I was confused because At one
Was it the
point,
fact that
I actually thought Santino. I didn't know if he was a face or if he was a heel, because some of the crowd kind of turned on him and were kind of rooting for
he's
him.
meant to be a face?
Yeah, I was disappointed how it ended.
Also, it's very weird seeing Santino Marella being a somewhat real wrestler and not being the joke he will become. Like, not pulling out a sock out of his jocks and pretending it's a cobra. That's what happens to Santino. We're going to be getting a lot of Santino on our timeline. But also, you won't know this, Ryan, but Jamie, did you hear the story that the reason why they got Umaga was that it was meant to be their version of Samoa Joe?
Was it?
Yeah, it was meant because at this time Samoa Joe was being the best thing ever in TNA.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
So it was meant to be Samoa Joe. There's a nice bit where Umaga runs into the corner and then Santino tries to roll him up after, but Umaga just holds on to the rope.
Yeah.
Why does no one else do that? No one else will do it. There is a nerve pinch that goes on forever from Umaga. And then the finish is Umaga keeps punching Santino in the Marella until the ref calls for the bell.
Yeah.
For the DQ, Santino wins.
He was like a beast being unleashed and no one could restrain him.
But he lost and didn't win the
I
title.
know.
I didn't.
And I would have thought he would actually win because the entire fight, Santino tried everything and Umaga just would not move.
Overall, this match seemed okay, but that was a shit finish.
Aye, I mean,
I think if they wanted a disqualification, they could have made a better disqualification.
yeah,
Than that.
like go for an elite move or something.
Yeah.
Also, I have a note here that says this is the worst finish of the night. Oh, how I was wrong.
I can bet you right now there's a worse finish going to be happening soon.
Oh, yeah. And we are
The main event. The main event. King Booker should have won. There is a lovely you fucked up chant by the crowd. Stay classy. Yep. And then we get a promo for SummerSlam that has Jackass getting involved. Oh boy, I'm not looking forward to SummerSlam now.
This caught me off guard because they sent a promo for SummerSlam, but the next one is Great American Bash.
SummerSlam's not for like 2 or 3 months. I don't know.
Why did they not just promote the next one? But, you know.
SummerSlam's one of the big 4, I think. I don't know. They always promote Mania like halfway through the year or something. I don't know. We basically get a video from the investigator about Vince McMahon's explosion and move on. We then get to see Magnum TA. My note is Magnum TA still has an amazing mustache.
He does. I will say that.
And now we get the match. MVP versus Ric Flair. MVP, I like. His name is Montel Various Porter. It's literally MVP. And how do I describe Ric Flair for you, Ryan? He is the greatest of all time.
He likes to elbow drop his jacket.
Okay. In the 70s and 80s, Ric Flair was the man. He is a 16-time world heavyweight champion, 25 if you actually look at the record books. And he is also the best when it comes to promos, because you either get serious Ric Flair, which is amazing, where he's like, I have a $5,000 jacket, $10,000 shoes, I am the greatest of all time, or you get batshit insane Ric Flair, where he is bleeding from the forehead. Because since he has blonde, like white hair, it looks magnificent when it's bleeding. Ric Flair is the best. I'm going to show you some Ric Flair. Some classic Ric Flair.
I like how when Ric Flair came on, he had that ginormous cloak. It kind of reminded me of when Grandpa from The Simpsons was a wrestler. He was like going like full on.
He was
like
based. Grandpa being a wrestler is based on Ric Flair.
I knew it. I knew they looked the same.
Also, that robe is nothing compared to the shit Ric Flair used to wear. Trust me, he will. When we get to Mania 24, holy shit, that robe.
That was a bit of a tearjerker for me.
I'm sorry, I love you, but no, we can't get into that.
Because we're getting quite close to that. So, but Ric Flair, I mean, where did he start with Ric Flair? You know what I mean, did he not? He survived a plane crash, or two, in fact. Did he not? I read somewhere.
He survived one plane crash. He definitely survived one. Yeah, no, Ric Flair was involved in a plane crash, and then he wrestled the next day.
That's right.
Like, if you need any more reason why Ric Flair is the man.
That was the one he didn't go. He wasn't going to go to the hospital until after his match or something.
I think so. Basically, yeah. Ric Flair
wanted to fight his match first.
MVP's pyro goes off slightly early. I don't know if you've noticed, but it goes off like a second too early. Also, Ric Flair is wearing his red trunks. One of the famous stories with Ric Flair is if he wears his red trunks, he's losing.
Oh, wow.
Like, yeah, it's a way to tell. Like, Ric Flair has a lot of things you will get. Red trunks, he's losing. Almost all the time, he'll end up bleeding. And if he goes up to the top rope, he's not going to hit anything. Someone's going to throw him off. Like, it's a joke that he never hits anyone from the top rope. I love MVP's shit talking.
Yeah, just saying, you got nothing. You got nothing.
Yeah. MVP has been so good on the SmackDowns I've been watching. But Ric Flair gets a punch and then like you can see the top of his nose is bleeding. And I'm like, you Ric Flair, you can't resist bleeding. Like, I'm pretty sure like if he files his taxes, he'll get his paper and give himself paper cuts so he bleeds. He's a man. I don't have a lot of notes, but the finish is the ref pulls Ric Flair off MVP while he's punching him, and MVP pokes Ric Flair in the eyes, which allows him to hit the Playmaker or the Overdrive, which is the worst wrestling move ever. I hate that move. It makes no sense.
Yeah, that was a dirty trick. Just doing it while the ref is looking away and gets the win. That was a dirty trick.
No, I'm talking about the move he hits them with. Like, it makes no sense. Like, you're not like I'm hurting my knee with that move. I'm not hitting your head. But overall, I thought the match was okay, but it was nothing. It was like, I don't know.
I think they could have had a better match than that. I mean, don't get me wrong. They both played that part. I mean, Flair played his part all right. Made MVP look like a star, but they could have had a better match.
Also, there's a weird they mentioned that MVP beat Benoit for the United States title, and I was like, wait, they mentioned him in this match, but they don't mention him in the ECW match. I don't fully understand. Then we have a promo with John Cena and Edge where they basically do a dick measuring contest, and basically Cena tricks Edge into saying, "Oh, I can do some crazy shit," and the joke is Vince McMahon's lead investigator right behind.
I loved I loved all the things they were saying to each other. Just John Cena just walks away, just leaving them quiet, and just he can't say anything. He can't think of nothing to say from that. That was just brilliant.
It'd be like saying you and me talking, and then you're basically like, "Yeah, you can't kill someone." I'm like, "Oh, I could kill someone. I could kill someone," and then behind me is a police officer. It's like, oh, hello. Our next match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles, Deuce and Domino, FYI, I love these 50s grease gimmicks. They're right out of Grease.
I hate those guys. I hate them.
Why are they not coming? But they're not coming out in their car. They used to come out in a car. That makes me sad.
They came out with their.
I would have liked to see them coming in the car.
Then we also get to see Rick Martel and his tag team partner from the 70s, and then we get a pretty bad. It was an okay promo from Deuce and Domino where it's like, look, these people are old, yada yada, they're stupid, and then I'm just like, your gimmick is you're from the 50s. Move on.
That was the first time that in this whole thing that we actually get to see someone, the wrestlers getting the mic and just saying stuff. That was the first time I ever saw that. I just thought that was pretty interesting to watch. That.
Their opposition is Sergeant Slaughter and some may say super, super, super fly. I like to say murderer, 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 Jimmy Snuka. Jimmy Snuka murdered his wife. Yeah, that's 2 times we're talking about murderers on this show. One of my notes, but yeah, moving on. One of the notes I have is that will they mention that Deuce from Deuce and Domino is
That's what I was just going to mention. It was a point where the only note I've got is Snuka versus Snuka. And
Ryan,
Cole and JBL did not mention it. I don't think. No, that I heard anyway.
No, they didn't. One of the people from Deuce and Domino is the son of Jimmy Snuka. Like his real life son. Yeah. Another note I have is, I know Jimmy is old, but by God, is he in bad shape.
Yeah.
Also, Deuce hits Sergeant Slaughter with a Superfly splash, and he also talks shit to Jimmy, and I'm like, that's a nod that Deuce is his son.
It's no way to talk to your father.
Yeah, no, but then Jimmy hits Deuce with a Superfly splash, but Deuce manages to roll back for the 3. 1, 2, 3. Overall, I like this match, but Deuce and Domino had to bump around the old people just because they couldn't bump. But overall, it was okay. The match was 6.5 minutes. And then all the old guys beat up Deuce and Domino.
That at the very end. I absolutely loved that. Just saying, like, you don't deserve to win. We'll kick your ass anytime. They were just walking. They were walking away like cowards. And those guys, the old guys, I loved it. They were just like, "Come on, you want to insult me? Come on, do it right here, right now." And they couldn't. They were absolutely terrified. I loved it.
I can remember when this first happened, there was a lot of backlash from some people. But I like to see the Legends back then. But a lot of people were saying, were these two taking a place that another tag team could jump in? And I can't remember how many tag teams were on the go from SmackDown at that time.
From watching all the SmackDowns, they were building up Paul London and Brian Kendrick to face them. But Paul London got fired for smiling. So I feel I think they had to be like, oh shit, let's quickly change this. All right.
But I agree. It wasn't the worst match. When it first came out, I thought it was going to be a worse match. It was actually not too bad.
No.
It was good. A really good one.
It's time for Edge versus Batista.
No.
This one's for you, Ryan. The bad guy in season 2, episode 1 of The Flash, and Drax the Destroyer from Guardians of the Galaxy. Okay. The promo they play for this match it's okay, but it's pretty generic. And the stipulation of this match is if Batista does not leave the champion, he's not getting another shot until Edge loses the belt. As long as Edge is champion, Batista's never getting another opportunity. I like Edge's camel and purple tights. I thought they were nice.
Did you say that Edge was on the Flash?
Yeah, he plays the bad guy in the first episode of season 2.
Look into that. That's actually pretty interesting. I'm going to look at that. All right.
Yeah, that's Edge. Edge. He has short hair. Right, he has short hair in that episode. Because
that's cool.
It's this match is very slow to begin with Batista in complete control.
He was going all out. He was like not giving up, and he had the upper hand so many times.
Edge then gets control, and I love Edge's constant trying to keep Batista outside the ring so he can win by countout. I love that. This is before the finish, and I just wrote, I love this, and now I'm just like, imagine if that was the finish.
Yeah,
that would
like
be
a coward's
stupid.
way to win.
Another note is I'm getting sick and tired of JBL sports commentary. Every other second, it's like, oh, it's Tiger Woods, oh, it's LeBron James, oh, it's Shaquille O'Neal. I'm getting tired of that.
But you could see on Edge's face that he was absolutely terrified of Batista some of the time. He was actually scared.
Here's a big one. Holy shit, the pop when Batista set up for the Batista bomb. When he got that move ready, the crowd lost their mind.
Absolutely.
Jeff, Edge goes to hit Dave with his finisher, the spear, but then Dave spears him mid-spear, Spearception, if you will. It's the sequel to Inception, and we can't afford Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know who else we can get, but and the crowd go fucking mental. Oh, and then Batista goes to hit Batista Batista goes to hit Edge with a Batista bomb. That's a tongue twister, but then gets blowed for the DQ. Edge retains the title.
I was furious. I'm absolutely furious.
Edge then leaves, and then Holla Holla Teddy Long comes out. For some reason, does not make this a tag team match.
That's what I was just going to say. That's what I thought he was going to do. Make it a tag team match.
Or just go 1-on-1 with the Undertaker. But then Teddy Long basically says, is match resign, and if you lose by DQ, you'll lose the title. And one of the things I love about this is that Edge then like 2 minutes later, Edge goes outside to get the chair, and then he realizes he can't do that.
Yeah.
It's so great. Okay. We need to talk about the finish. Dave Batista hits it's Edge with the Batista bomb on the outside and tries to get Edge into the ring. He pushes Edge into the ring, but then loses via count out.
Idiot! I was like, Drax, stab me that alien from the inside in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Okay, we're all going to get a shot at shit talking this ending. Here's my one. I liked this match, but this ending I hated. You could have had Edge win, like, lose by DQ and keep the title. At least that's a story. Edge outsmarted him. Edge was smart with it. This ending makes Batista look like an idiot. It just ruins Batista now. Nothing works. And also, I really thought Batista was going to win because, spoiler alert, Batista holds the world title later.
Yeah.
Okay, which one of you two want to go first?
Jamie,
and shit talking this ending.
I'm honestly going to be a long time, so I'll let you go first.
I just didn't see the ending coming like it was. I had flashbacks of the Iron Man match with WrestleMania 12. I thought they're going to restart it, and Batista's going to pick up the win. As you say, he didn't have to pin Edge. Edge could have just hit him with a chair.
Yeah,
been lost in the moment. That would have gave them with the finish. The finish they done, they basically took Batista out the main event picture. If they'd done where Batista got the title, they've still got Edge in the main event picture. They don't know what's going to happen.
And you could have, and if Edge DQ'd himself, you could have done a story where it's like, you only won because I DQ'd myself. No disqualification match. You and me.
Exactly. So they've always got that backup plan where all the main eventers got injured.
Yeah.
And they were only left with Batista. Batista can't have that shot because they've ruined that. At least if they'd done it the way where Batista got the title, they've still got the two of them in the main event picture.
Okay, so we've had
stupid.
Okay, so we've had the smart wrestling fans' opinion.
Okay.
Let's have the Ryan opinion.
Excuse me. Okay.
You might want to pour a drink.
People who are going to be watching,
I guess Jamie, you turn down your volume
now. Just first eardrums. Okay. It was a load of crap. I mean, come on. It could have been Batista. He could have won that fight. But the stupid ref, he made the stupidest calls ever. And what the hell? I mean, Batista, he tried his absolute best to get the Edge back into the ring and get himself in there. What the hell was that going on? I mean, it was just like, I was like, Batista, you could win this. Why the hell was the ref being so a jackass with all of it? It was like, I was like, going like I want to stab that Edge in the back.
I'm going to record that when we cover Royal Rumble 2020. I want you to hear what you said when we get to that bit.
It was such a crap. Wait, I mean, Batista, he was destroyed. I saw it in the face. He was absolutely shattered. I mean, I honestly thought Batista was going to get the win, and him just walking out and Edge just given the belt, even though he's knocked out. I wouldn't blame Batista of doing the Batista bomb again. I wouldn't blame him. I would do that umpteen times. Of the stupid.
Okay.
I think, I don't know if it was just me. It looked like they had made it look like Batista was struggling to get Edge back in the ring. If there's one person that's going to struggle, it's not going to be Batista. Look at Batista.
No. Batista could bench press all three of us.
Exactly. On a tired day. So,
True. I don't know. I didn't like this finish. Also, shit. What was I going to say? I don't know. I'm just so annoyed about this finish. But yeah.
It was disappointing, because I mean the match must have been 15 minutes or something, sort of around about the 15-minute mark.
16:50.
So you went that long to build a match up, and it was a good match.
The first match I actually got really hooked into, because obviously I knew Batista from Guardians of the Galaxy, so I got really hooked on it really quickly, and I was like rooting for him. I was actually really hooked on it.
Also, you were talking about the time. I wanted to talk about this at the ending, but this match went 16:50. This is the longest match of the night. There is only one other match that goes longer than 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of short matches here. Like,
I think they wasted that long match.
Totally.
Oh, we got pissed at the Umaga Santino match, but at least that match was short.
That he could actually win, but then just destroys his confidence after.
I don't know. Anyway, this is going to be a spoiler, but like, I really thought he was going to win, because I know, at least by No Mercy, so in at least 4 months' time, Batista wins. It has the title. Like, I know he has the title.
He wins.
So I don't know.
Well, that was the same as me, because I knew Batista got the title.
Because I know he's in the Punjabi prison match.
Exactly. So I thought this is the one. And
so you guys are saying
I was like,
you guys are saying that 4 months after that awful fight, he then gets the title afterwards. Oh.
Yeah.
He gets it before. In 4 months, he defends the title in an awful match. But like, I know I know he got the title by this point. So it's like,
I'm glad
he's winning the title
4 months later. I'm actually wanting to watch that just to give me some clarity and comfort that at least Batista goes away a champ. I really.
I don't know which one he is, but like our next show's Great American Bash. He might win it then, but he shouldn't unless Edge loses it on TV. But anyway, let's move on to the promo that they showed of Wendy Richter versus the Black Spider. The story they give is that Wendy refused to give Moolah a title shot, so Moolah came as the Spider Lady. Here's what the real story is. Wendy Richter is women's champion, but she hasn't re-signed her contract. So they're afraid that Wendy's just going to leave to another company and take their title with her. So what they do is that they get the fabulous Moolah, dress her up as a Spider Lady, and have her pin her and have the ref quickly count the 3. And Wendy did not know that she was losing. She thought she was going to win.
Wow.
And it's the original screw job. Like, she was told, you're winning this match, and then basically got fucked out of the title. And the story goes, she leaves the arena, gets a taxi, and gets a plane and leaves wrestling, and she's still in her gear.
I think there's something about that on Dark Side of the Ring on season 1. It's on all 4. It's under the Fabulous Moolah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure the Fabulous Moolah dressed up as this other one, and some happened. I'm sure it's on season 1 on all 4.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I thought you were talking about the one they did on the Montreal Screwjob.
It's in the same season. I think it's episode 6, this one.
I'm going to watch all of the Dark Side of the Ring. I just watched the Benoit one. I think I need a break, because the Benoit one's really sad.
Oh, I know. Like, see, when Chavo is talking about
Eddie
that brings me to tears.
But yeah. Okay. Let's go from sadness to blatant titillation. For the Women's Championship, Melina versus Candice Michelle. Jamie, please. I'm not even going to ask what the hell's going on, but no. Okay.
I was just wondering that.
Yeah. Okay, here is the gimmicks. Melina is meant to be Paris Hilton because she comes in and it's all paparazzi. Candice Michelle's gimmick is I'm hot.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 3 notes on this match. There is a lot of screaming in this match. Am I watching tennis? Another one is Candice's purple bra is tearing apart. Thank God for the black under one. And Candice hits a shitty spin kick that doesn't even connect. She hits her with her elbow first for the 3. Overall, this match wasn't too bad, but it was obviously the toilet break match.
Definitely.
I
saw this fight. It was like, this is nothing different from what I see at the back of my back in high school when 2 girls from class are going at it. There's just nothing different. Pulling hair, shouting. There's nothing different about this than going to high school and just seeing 2 girls going at it.
Okay, Ryan, I'm going to say this. This is the type of women's wrestling we're going to get for at least 6 years. And then it gets good. I swear women's wrestling gets really good.
Women's fight after the Batista fight was such a letdown. I mean, geez, Louise, how much time do I scream? Jeez. And the pulling of the hair, that was like
trust
every
me,
move
Ryan.
Pull hair, kick, pull hair, punch, pull hair, elbow. I mean, honestly, this is the same thing.
I think this was the time. It was. I don't know who was to blame. Probably maybe Vince. I think it was just if you look good, you're in there.
Yeah, that was it. Like neither of these women were trained as wrestlers.
It doesn't matter. I mean, Candice Michelle because she was part of that with Vince. Can you remember? I don't know if it's past Vince's Devils where there was her, Victoria and Tori Wilson, I think it was. Yeah. I don't know if that's past or not. But most of them were just, I mean, like Stacy Keibler, Tori Wilson. Yeah. They were there for their looks. And as James says, it does get better. It does get better.
Ryan, once we get the 4 horsewomen, Ryan, it gets good. Trust me. When the 4 horsewomen come in, it gets really good.
Exactly. You know,
that doesn't happen until 2015.
That was like the most. I know wrestling staged and everything, but that women's match, that was the most staged fake fight ever. I mean, the acting was terrible.
I think this is where you'll notice. See, when you get to 2015, you notice where the gap between Vince and Triple H. You know that straight away because you look at 4 horsewomen and everybody that's coming through NXT at that time. James, you might be able to back me up here. You know, it's clear away they're not just there for their looks and all
Trust me, Ryan, once we get to 2014, 2015, it gets really good.
And I hope we hurry up and get to it because I really
trust me.
want to see decent fights.
Trust me. No, Ryan, trust me. 9 times out of 10, the women's match is the best match of the night. And once we get to 2018, they start main events and shows.
And to be honest with you, it's no dying down. I mean, there's a lot of lot of good ones coming through right now too.
Rare Ripley,
especially doing in NXT. You know, the Bianca Belair. She's
great. Ryan, once we get to, here's the thing. Once we get to NXT, you're going to love NXT. NXT's great.
It's like a breath. It's like a breath of fresh air.
That'll be.
As much as you think Triple H is a dick in the ring,
yeah,
no many people can even touch him when it comes to what he does with NXT. It's like there's a lot more freedom than there. And I know a lot of people say, "Oh, it's a Del Valle mental brand."
It's not.
Class it.
It's the best brand.
It's a separate brand. You know, you go Raw, you go SmackDown, you go NXT. I class that on the same level.
This NXT rant has been brought to you by JBL. JBL would like to remind you that JBL is the greatest WWE champion ever. He also came from Texas Farmyard, and he also is the wealthiest man ever. JBL is the best. This message has been brought to you by JBL.
When he did that, I was just like, ego was.
I love that.
When they announced everything about JBL, is this when the ring announcer?
I want everything on.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, it's so much. They were playing into the crowd so much, and they were loving it, and then they just turned it on them. They just turned it on the crowd, and
booing is just. They did not want to hear this crap.
Okay. Then we get a great promo on everyone of what does it mean to be a champion and who everyone is. I love this. I especially love the end when it's like Mick Foley is a champion is the person who works hardest. King Booker, a champion is the person who does the best, yada yada. Randy Orton, a champion is Randy Orton. I am a champion. Fuck you, I'm the best. Okay. I fucking love King Booker and Queen Charmel's like royal, like black with fur clothes.
It was over exaggerating with walking into the ring and just like pleasing the crowd, just doing all that for like 2 minutes straight. It was like, jeez.
You will be quiet, peasant. You will respect King Booker. Okay.
I was actually rooting for King Booker in this match. I don't know if I might have been the only one, but I wanted
King Booker. I was like, come on, King. I know you don't win because we're in the Super Cena age, so Cena is going to win every match. But please, please, King. But also, something I noticed, Mick Foley, Randy Orton, and Bobby Lashley and King Booker all come out, and then they wait like a minute until John Cena's music hits. What was with that delay? Was he running late?
I kind of noticed something about this event. I don't know if it was just me, but John Cena was the only champion to come in last.
Yeah, even though a champion is meant to come last.
That threw me off a wee bit. I thought
that's what's meant to happen, but WWE never obey it. They always go back and forth of whether or not a champion.
I did notice though that John Cena actually had to run onto the stage when his music was playing. So I think you were right. I think he was running a bit late.
Yeah, like I just have this image of like when Randy's coming out, he's outside having a smoke break, and then like Vince is like, Cena, your match is starting. He's like, oh shit, and just running as fast as he can. That's my image. Just like he was just having a smoke and was like, fuck. But also, I love how the second the bell rings, King Booker goes outside for his queen to give him a massage.
Yeah, time to get a massage.
Oh, I love you, King Booker. And then there's a nice bit where Bobby Lashley, John Cena, and Mick Foley team up and just take the shit out of Randy Orton. And then, okay, King Booker, John Cena, Randy Orton, and Mick Foley are outside the ring. Bobby Lashley is in the ring, and then he just jumps over the ropes and attacks him. I did not know he could do that.
I liked how
that's impressive.
John and Bobby were like staring at each other like bitter rivals, and then King just charges up to John and just smashes him, just interrupts the whole thing.
That's a note I have. There's a lot of staring between Bobby Lashley and John Cena, and I'm just like, they're building up to a one-on-one match between those two. It's, one thing you'll notice is that they do that a lot when there's when they want to see if the fans want a match, they'll put them in a multi-match, and then they'll have the two face off and see how the crowd would react. The most famous one is in Royal Rumble 91. Hulk Hogan and the Ultimate Warrior are the only ones left in the ring, and they stare at each other because they wanted to see, do fans want this match at WrestleMania 6? Yeah, the fans do, because the place went ballistic. They were cheering their face off. You'll see that a lot, where it's the two of us will stare at each other, and it's like, okay, if the fans want this, we'll do this. If not, well, fuck you, we're going to do it anyway. Cena hits Bobby Lashley with an FU, and it goes through the ECW table. And we're like, is that meant to be the Spanish table now? Then my next note is Cena goes to give King Booker a 5-knuckle shuffle. The joke is it's wanking, because that's what it's meant to be. But as he's running, he gets hit by an RKO out of nowhere, and that's amazing. And there is a great bit where everyone just hits their finishers. So scissor kick, FU, spear, DDT, RKO. Everyone just it is a video game match. That's why I had noted down for this. This was yada yada. Cena hits Mick Foley with an FU for the win in 10 minutes 7 seconds. I said this match was short and quick. It was a video game match. There was no rest holds. It was big move, big move, big move, finisher, 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 finisher.
Definitely.
But yeah,
I did. I loved it. I absolutely. There was so many moves. He's trying to pin one person. He gets then slammed. Then he was going to go for an attack. He then gets turned by someone else. It was like crisscross of everybody. I loved it.
Jamie, what was your opinion?
I thought it was. It was a good match, but to be 100% honest, it could have been so much better.
Because you had the talent. You had the talent of Big Match John, Randy Orton, King Booker, Bobby Lashley, and yes, Mick Foley can't even walk straight, but he's still good sometimes. No, honestly, it's sad watching Mick Foley because he can't walk straight anymore, right? It's really sad.
Actually, when I first saw Bobby walking into the ring, I just thought, jeez Louise, he is ripped ass. He was huge.
Yeah.
I can see why I can see why he was the champ. Jeez Louise. You charge at him and he's going to be like a brick wall. He'll not feel a thing and you'll just fall to the ground.
Okay. Does anyone have...
What was that? Honestly, I just think, I wouldn't have put Foley in the match. No, I don't want to see him in that. It's no fair putting him in a match like that. When clearly he's got problems with his walking and everything. I don't
think you put Foley in a match unless it's like a hardcore match, like the match he had at Edge at 22. That's a fantastic match.
Aye.
I don't know. Maybe if you put him as a special referee.
Aye, something like that, but I wouldn't have put him in a match.
I mean, you got four ripped guys going against one Mickey who's waddling, and he's not even that ripped.
Yeah, and he lost half his ear.
I think the only advantage he has in the fight was that he does not hold back. He goes completely ballistic crazy on everyone.
That's not Mick Foley going ballistic crazy. You have not seen Mick Foley go ballistic crazy.
Mostly has the edge. Hence why I think that's why he was put in the match, because everyone knew that he can go crazy and that can get help or something.
Trust me, Ryan, you have not seen him wrap his fist in barbed wire, then set that fist on fire, and then punch someone into a table with glass on it. You have not seen that.
Some of the matches are even on YouTube. I mean, there's like death matches between him and Terry Funk. Just, wow, and that's not even in WWE. I mean, look at what he's done in WWE. I mean, that
Hell in
one night he got flung off that cell, and then
twice
got back up, went back in. He went through the cell. Then the dumpster. Remember the dumpster?
He got thrown into a dumpster, and then like the dumpster.
I call him. It's Terry Funk, but it was somebody else at the time, a Chainsaw Charlie or something. And they go flung up there. Yeah, it's just, and with Edge spearing him through that flaming table. It was some of the stuff he does. I wonder how he's not dead.
Yeah, Ryan, what we're trying to say is Mick Foley is the toughest bastard ever. I'm pretty sure if you shot him in the face, he would smile and say, "Please, sir, may I have another?"
He stops the bullet with his teeth and then just spits it back at the shooter.
I don't think he has any teeth to block it, though. That's the problem. Genuine.
I've listened to some stories like on podcasts and everything, and when Mick Foley, I think it was Vader, with his ear in Germany, and he brought his ear back, and he was just laughing about it. You know what I mean? This is, you're like, wow, you know. This is the man that entered the Royal Rumble 4 different times with 4 different names.
Here's the story with the ear, Ryan. They were doing a match in Germany, and Mick Foley did what's called a hangman spot, where basically you run into the ropes and then you get your head stuck in between 2 ropes. And you're meant to pull yourself out. The problem is they had tightened the ropes too much, so you couldn't get his head out properly. So he basically pulled his head out as hard as he could, and it ripped off half his ear. Like, he is missing half an ear. That's a legit thing.
Jeez Louise.
Mm-hmm. But anyway.
I'm ready.
You guys ready for your final notes?
Yeah, apart from I thought that match was okay. I'm not impressed with the winner.
No, but
I was rooting for King Booker, but it was.
Here's the problem. We're in Super Cena time. Cena's going to win all the time. Cena is only going to lose the title when his arm literally comes off its socket.
I was just looking.
But yeah. I thought this show was okay. It had 2 great matches. One great, one good. And there was no bad matches. They were all okay. Even the piss break match between Melina and Candice, it wasn't the worst. And my MVP, I want to give a joke to MVP, of course, or I'm stuck between 2 for my MVP, but I think I'm CM Punk or Johnny Nitro, because they came out in a match where both of them thought it was going to be a different match. The crowd were not happy with this match, and they pulled off the best match of the night. FYI, that's my match of the night: Punk versus Nitro. But I think it's going to be Johnny. I'm going to give my MVP to Johnny. He basically got thrown into a match last minute, and he held his own, and he was great. So, Ryan, what was your match of the night and MVP?
As a first-time wrestler watcher, I thought some of the fights were good, some were not as good as I thought. Obviously, the Batista fight I absolutely loved. The ending was absolute crap, so I was not approved on that. But the 5-man match at the main event, I thought that was my absolute favorite. I mean, it was just like comeback after comeback of everyone. It was just like absolutely brilliant. I would say the 5-man match was my best fight to watch.
Okay, and who's your MVP?
Because I'm still trying to.
Who, for your first time watching a wrestling show, who impressed you? Who made you go, I want to watch more for this guy?
I gotta go for Batista. Gotta go for him. I mean, going for just comeback after comeback. I mean, still holding his own, not giving up, absolutely determined to get that belt. And it's just like, I was hooked. I mean, he was the whole reason I paid attention to wrestling at all. I just thought, Batista's my man. He's the man. So Batista's my MVP.
So all right, Jamie, match of the night and MVP.
Match of the night. I'll agree. I mean, it wasn't really a bad match.
Yeah,
the women's match was disappointing to me because it looked like they were trying to rival the match that Trish and Lita had on Raw, and they're not at that caliber. But match of the night for me would have been different had the Batista and Edge match finished differently. That would have been my match of the night.
Same,
but
absolutely same.
I've got to go with Johnny and CM Punk as my match of the night.
Can I ask one question before we get to your MVP?
Yeah.
Would you like this match better, the Edge Batista match? Would you like it better if it ended with Edge hitting Batista in the dick, and then like him just walking out? Teddy Long doesn't restart the match. Would that make the match better or worse?
I think it would have been the same. I think my expectation might. Good question. To be honest with you, my expectations were next level when Teddy Long started the match. I thought, you know what, Batista's going to take this, no problem. There's not going to be any grievance. But had it ended that way, Batista technically would have won. See what I mean? So I would just be, when you said that, I would think to myself, would Batista still be in the title shot because he didn't lose?
Yeah.
So maybe that might have made it better, but just the whole surroundings with that finish, that put me on a downer because he spent 16 minutes, was it? Leading up to what you were thinking was going to be a brilliant finish, because as you say, me and you both know that Batista
which
had
I would
the title,
which I need to watch because I need satisfaction.
And then
it's
coming.
Okay. It's in our timeline. Trust me.
Yep.
Like
I had a wee look. I know when it is.
You spoiler bastard! I can't believe you've done that. I would never do that. Just turning off the TV because I'm already watching Great American Bash. No, here's the thing.
He's going to. You're watching Great American Bash.
No, because here's the thing between you two. You two just need to watch the pay-per-view. I'm watching all the weekly television. I have like 30 hours more to watch than you. So I'm just saying, be quiet. But anyway, here's my reason of why the match would be better if it ended with the low blow. Edge did that. It was Edge's plan. And so you can do the story of I'm smarter. Batista looks like an idiot with that finish. He looks like a choker. He looks like when the chips are down, he can't get it done. Because I know it's technically not his fault. He was tired, but it's his fault he didn't win. And at least with the low blow, he was going to win, but Edge was like, yeah, I'm going to DQ myself.
Well,
I don't know.
Honestly, I
would agree because if it ended with a DQ,
because there were so many chances Batista could have gotten that 3 if the ref would have moved and do it faster. I would have thought there was actually Edge nearly got a 3 a couple of times as well. So I think the ref was just really bad at counting. Because I totally heard.
Here's what I thought was not Jamie. You're first.
Pinned Edge.
I think if the
DQ the third. I honestly heard the pat on the ground. That should have been a 3.
You're gonna get some close shit like that, Jamie. Now you.
I think the way you said it with the DQ, that would have given him a whole different storyline to go down.
Yeah.
Basically, what they've done is they've ended that story.
And they made Batista look like an idiot. That's the thing I hate. They've made Batista bad. Go.
Exactly. They made them look stupid, basically. They've ended that story and they've took one person out of the main event picture. Whereas, if they'd done it on the DQ...
Because I'm thinking, isn't Taker injured at this point?
Yes,
I think he is.
I don't think he's back for a good few months after this.
Yeah, and I'm like thinking, who did he have?
I'm sure it was near the end of the year in 2007 he returns, or 2008.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, because Taker's injured, King Booker is now on Raw, and I'm like, who did he have? Like, I don't know. Anyway, shitty finish-ish. But who was your MVP? Because we interrupted you there for that rant.
I've got to go with Johnny Nitro. He was put in a position so early, so late, and he just pulled it off. The MVP was a tough one, but it was between CM Punk, Johnny Nitro, and Johnny Nitro wins it for me. I don't think there's anyone else on that card, considering the whole situation around that one match. Both of them were so late,
I can't even imagine what was going through their minds when that was happening. Like they don't know that he's dead or that he's murdered his family, but like they gotta be like, people are not happy. This is not what people asked for.
Exactly. That's what it was. Kind of somber thing watching this show.
Yeah,
just knowing that what has happened, but obviously nobody on the show knows what's happened the last 2 days, and including the day that a show was filmed.
Yeah,
it was kind of a weird feeling.
Yeah, it's like watching the Raw after the tribute episode to Eddie Guerrero. Like it feels like something's off. If that makes sense, like something's off and it's weird. But hey, we've got a month now to build to the Great American Bash, where hopefully it's good. I don't remember a lot of stuff from this era. 2007, I don't remember a lot from this era that's good, because, like, we're in Super Cena time. So Cena's not losing the title until, like, the muscle on his arm comes off. That actually happens, Ryan.
This is a difficult, especially this year's a difficult year to remember back. Because obviously the situation that happened, that kind of overshadows it. But the only one I can remember is one match from SummerSlam. No title match or nothing. I'm not going to ruin it, but that's the one match I can remember happening.
The only thing I remember is No Mercy 2007, because I have that DVD. Because for some reason, if you bought the special edition of SmackDown vs. Raw 2011, you got No Mercy 2007. Don't ask me why. It's the weirdest. Like, I understand giving me a DVD to a show, but why not one from 2011? I don't know.
Make more sense.
But yeah. So yeah. Anyway, does anyone have any final remarks on the show?
Yep. Absolute same.
No, really. Apart from that shitty finish. And
good.
Ryan.
I'm glad.
Trust me, it gets better.
Yeah.
As the years go on, I feel, I don't know if James can agree or not, I feel I get more invested in it.
Yeah.
Especially the women's. You do really notice the women's.
Yeah.
As they call it, the evolution. You notice it. And you get more.
Like,
really,
we are very far away, but here's some things we're going to get in our time to prove how big women's wrestling gets. We're going to get a all-women's pay-per-view. That is literally a whole show that's just the women, and it's fantastic. It's might be the best show of that year. And then
I
the
really
women
enjoyed that show.
I can't wait for Evolution. And then the women main event WrestleMania last year from when we're recording, 2019, they main evented the biggest show ever. Trust me.
To be honest, Ryan, I don't think there's one match type that's the women do not
haven't done yet.
In NXT, the Aya Women's match. That was some.
I can't wait. The thing I can't wait for is when we start doing the takeovers. I can't wait for when we can start doing NXT takeover.
Right, those shows love the takeovers because what it looks like to me is the takeovers try and outshine the main rosters.
They don't try to outshine.
It started to try and outshine it, but now it just.
Trust me.
It's like the main rosters are trying to outshine TakeOver
NXT. Like, okay, Ryan, NXT doesn't start until 2010, and even then, it doesn't become the NXT we talk about until 2014. But trust me, when we get to NXT, really you're going to love it. We only have 7 years in our timeline.
It really is good, and it does not slow down. Doesn't slow down one bit. Even today, I mean, it's
Johnny Gargano versus Tommaso Ciampa. When we get to those matches,
and it looks like they're having another one, but there's a wee case interrupted.
Oh yeah, don't spoil. I've not seen the new NXT. Don't. Anyway, but no. So, if that's everything, I would like to say thank you, everyone, for listening to the first episode of the Universe Era podcast. We spent 2 hours. I was talking about a show, and we spent 1 hour, 59 minutes talking about one finish to a match. Because fuck that finish. I don't think we'll go through as many rants. Honestly, I was expecting us to go on more tangents. Like, I was genuinely expecting us to start talking about freaking Smallville somehow. I don't know. But anyway, you can catch us next time when we will review the Great American Bash 2007 with the main event, because I already see it because it got slightly spoiled from me from the network.
Ooh.
Bobby Lashley versus John Cena.
And I know the SmackDown main event.
Don't. I'm gonna have to watch the weekly television. But anyway.
And this has been Ryan.
This has been James signing off.
And that's been Jamie signing off.
Thank you. If you want to email us, we'll be at universeerapod@gmail.com. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Oh, that was brilliant.
We're done.
Not bad for a first.
All right.
I'm going to have to edit this, you prick. I don't know who I'm calling a prick here. Anyway, since I'm gonna start watching the weekly television, hopefully I'll be done in about 2 days. If either of you want to start watching the Great American Bash, do. Like, the sooner all of us watch the show, the sooner we can watch. The sooner we can record.
Title of the match on watch that, so I know exactly what to look up on the WrestleMania website. Brilliant.
Will do.
And then the sooner we'll get through this, the sooner Ryan will see some women's wrestling.
Some good Becky Lynch. Oh, once we get Becky Lynch, that's when I'll be happy. Sadly, not my Becky. She probably could out wrestle more.
Hey,
she's probably a better wrestler than Candice Michelle.
Back for conventions, and you could just dress up another wrestler or something.
She joked about doing that once. All she needed was a pint of Guinness and a potato. But no. But yeah, I liked this. This was a good first recording. Anyway, I'm going to go to bed because it's 10 to 1 in the morning and I'm tired. Like, some of us are not like you, Ryan. Some of us actually wake up at 8.
Calm down. I don't wake up at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
4.
Worst time I woke up at was 2:30.
I'm going to call bullshit, but anyway. Anyway, but this has been fun.
I enjoyed this.
And thank you, guys.
I liked it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hopefully, we'll do it at a better time than midnight.
Stuff and that, so we were a bit forced to make it later, but hopefully will be a more free period next time. Night.
Anyway, night, everyone.
Hey, I'll watch that tomorrow, James.
Yeah, just watch it when you can, and
just send me the
sooner we all watch it, the better.
Front cover, and I'll then watch it after.
It's Great American Bash 2007. I'll send you the picture, but yeah.